Happening now, a new book detailing the history of the Outsiders through interviews is now available in stores and online. It's called Staying Gold, The Oral History of the Outsiders. Joining us live in studio, the authors, Danny Boy O'Connor and Jimmie Tramel. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us early this morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Last night there was a launch event for the book at Circle Cinema, the culmination of a long process. What was it like? What was the journey like getting this book written and made?
Man, it was 3 years in the making, and we interviewed more than 100 people to get hopefully a big picture look at the entire history of the Outsiders, not just the book, but the movie, the short-lived TV series, the Outsiders House Museum that Danny's responsible for, going all the way to present day with the musical.
Yeah, I mean, that had to be fun to try and track down everybody to be a part of this book.
Yeah, well, that's where I come in. I mean, Jimmie did all the heavy lifting when it comes to writing, and it's an incredible format. The oral history, the way those books are written, I wasn't familiar with until they asked us to do this. And if you don't know, if you know, you know, but if you don't know, it is taking, we had 100 interviews and then splicing them all together to tell one cohesive story. So it's like sitting at a table with 100 the cast of, from the tier 1 actors to your everyday fan that comes through. We interviewed just about everybody who's pertinent to this, and really that's where like the maestro comes in. It's like cut and pasting. For me, it's like a hip-hop sample, it's taking other beats and making it into something brand new. But there is an art form to that, and when I was offered to do this book, they said they were going to assign me a writer, and I said, hold on, let me put my 2 cents in. I said, would you guys be interested in looking at somebody that I had, suggested, which was Jimmie from Tulsa World, because he knew the legacy better than anybody, and he's here from Tulsa. Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, and they said, well, let us look into him and we'll call you back. And about an hour later, they're like, we love him, he's in, we're good. So it worked out perfect.
Maybe a bribe was in there somewhere?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it worked out perfect, man. And it's an honor to sit here with him and have my name on a book, and to have been able to talk to all of the people about that. So.
And without Danny's contacts, this never happens. This was completely a collaborative thing. We played complementary football, helped each other where we could, because the people we talked to would never have talked to me without Danny's contacts.
Well, I don't know about that, but I would tell you something. There's a brilliant, getting Susie to talk about this is we've heard her story many times.
You told a great story about this last night, about getting her approval basically for this.
Yeah, so getting her approval was one step, and then I was like, well, we've heard just about everything that we needed to hear from her, but how can we get something different? And Jimmie goes, what if we bring her to the Outsiders house and sit down and watch the movie with her? And I thought, wow, that's a great idea, but I don't know if she's into that, if that'll work. But I figured, what do I got to lose? So I reluctantly said, Susie, would you mind coming to the museum? She said, that's a great idea. And it was a great idea, because what we were able to do was shake loose a bunch of memories that she didn't normally talk about by watching that movie and pausing it and saying, Susie, do you remember anything from here? And she was like, oh yeah, that's because when you tell your story, especially she's been telling this since 1967, you kind of have like a canned pitch, you hit all the notes. So we had heard all of those anecdotal stories before, but we got a bunch of new ones in the book, and we talked to a lot of people.
It was like getting a live DVD commentary from her watching the movie, which is just once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Guys, thanks so much. We appreciate it. The book, once again, Staying Gold, The Oral History of the Outsiders. It's out now. If you'd like to get the book, we have a link to it in this story. To get it on our website, fox23.com.